Before starting this video, I would check out episode 1, which focuses on posture, breathing, and buzzing. So today we're going to be working on our tone development. Tone is incredibly important for developing a really good sound. We want a really good sound in our low, middle, and high registers. So the set of exercises we're going to be doing today is actually based around a trombone exercise. It's a very popular set of exercises that not only trombone players or even tuba players, but all brass players and all wind players in general use to develop their tone. Our goals here are to develop two things: our tone and our intonation. Let's start with our first set of long tones. So you'll notice with this exercise, just doing the first two, that the second note of each series goes down chromatically by half step. And what that really means is we're just elongating the horn every single series. Now, when you elongate the horn, what you're essentially doing is making the horn longer, but also a little bit stuffier. And our goal here is to use the B flat as an anchor for our tone. We want the lower notes to sound like that B flat. Let's try the whole exercise together. Now, as we get lower, just make sure that the air is consistent throughout the entire phrase. Don't pulse the air and don't try to conserve air in the changing of the notes. We want the faucet to keep running. The breathing exercises that we did in episode 1 are going to help us develop a really long, beautiful phrase using the air that you have conserved on breathing in. Let's try the open F series. Open F series is the same thing as our open B flat series. The idea here is the notes between B flat and F should sound like the open F. Now, intonation is a really important part of tone. In fact, you can't spell intonation without tone, sort of. It's really important that we think about the pitch before we play it. A really great way of thinking about pitch is having something to reference. So we're going to be using a drone just like we did in the last episode to find not only the B flat, but also compare the other notes to that B flat so that we are perfectly in tune. So some final notes. Number 1, long tones are great for tone production and intonation practice. Number 2, as we go down the valve series, make sure you keep the integrity of all the notes in the chromatic scale. Number 3, make sure we're understanding the relationship between the bottom note and the top note of each series so that we can center each pitch. And number 4, as always, make sure that you're applying all the things that we learned in breathing and buzzing into this exercise.